Today, we're sitting down for part two of the conversation with Tara Schulenberg. In part one, we heard her awakening story, how her remarkable visual intuition turned on, which actually started by listening. We heard about her relationship with astrology, how she works with it now, and how her spirituality has drastically evolved over the last decade or so. And today, in part two, we take things in a very different direction, a bit more exploratory. We talk about Jesus, her relationship with him. We talk about demons, aliens, and where she thinks the world might be going in the next 5 years. So, this one, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Let it all just inspire thought, perhaps, and hope you enjoy. Let's hop back in. And isn't it wonderful that now we're in a place of such groundedness that we're okay with our beliefs shifting? That's like
Yeah,
a really powerful and freeing place to be. It's like, this is what I think right now. It could change tomorrow. I don't know. And if I do, that's okay. That's a good
it's
thing.
okay. Yeah, exactly. So, it's a very interesting place to be in. I feel like I've entered a long-term marriage with my gifts, my sight, and there's a healthy respect too for the other side. It's like, mm, don't, don't mess with it. Stay connected to God. Stay connected. And that's the most important thing to me is like you stay connected to something bigger than yourself. And yeah, I've had so many interesting experiences, Carlin. I mean, we could go for hours talking about these things, but um, I'm kind of also understanding these days too about this idea of like being saved even and like what that actually
Ooh,
means. I experienced, through that kind of period, and I'll just kind of, I don't know why this is coming out, but it is.
yeah.
Um, I was getting a vision of this conversation. So I'm like, okay, I probably should talk about it. I always had a connection with Jesus. And even when I'm, was really deep in like the darkness of stuff, I always was really connected. And it felt um like a hand holding, like no matter what, I could always just call on Jesus and I would get out of these bad situations, like the darkness would go away pretty fast.
Uh-huh.
And I remember like 2021, 2022, specifically 2022, 2023, like kind of going through the torment and like screaming out in my car, like screaming, like I needed help. Like I needed help because I was not okay. Like I was having like suicidal thoughts to a degree, but not like where I was actually going to do anything, but it was ideation. I'm like, I was feeling so tortured by all this energy. And, I didn't feel like I felt trapped in it. And so I didn't call, I kind of lost a little bit of that hand holding to Jesus, but then I did reconnect and it was as if like, and this happened and I really, really, really reconnected like fully, deeply and the end of 2024. And
Oh,
it pulled me out of it like immediately. And anytime I was even feeling like the craziness, it was like it would pull me out. Now, it didn't fully pull me out until I was there for a couple years, but I'd get reprieve from it when I would call on Jesus. Now, I called on like I am ready to listen to you because I wasn't listening to what needed to be done. When I would call on Jesus, I would hear what I needed to do and then I wouldn't do it because I was afraid. So I prolonged suffering. Then I listened in 2024 and I like changed my whole life. I had to let go of things that were very, very dear to me and that I couldn't imagine my life, being without. And that is what actually felt like fully saved me. And so I feel like it was like I was drowning in a pool and like a hand came out and pulled me out and was like, now you're ready to listen and to do the things I'm going to ask you to do. And it pulled me fully out of the darkness and it changed my whole life. I moved across the country. I had to let go of a business I was running with my best friend at the time. And I had to let go of a relationship I was in. My dog passed away. and I had to move across the country and start my life over at 39 years old. It was fucking terrifying. Like, it was terrifying, but it saved my life. Like,
Wow.
it truly saved my life, but it felt like my life was ending having to make those decisions. Some of them were made for me, some of them were not. And that is this understanding for me of like, I understand when people say that they were saved. Like, I feel that way. Like, that relationship saved me. And so it's always still really important to me to have that relationship with Jesus and God. Like, you reach for that relationship always. And so that's my main kind of contact of like when I'm thinking about visions and the other side, I'm always directing the energy towards Jesus and to God. And that is the only thing I feel comfortable doing right now. And so while it can sound very religious, I'm not really religious, but I do believe in my experiences of what has happened, that those are it's a very powerful, powerful connection, and one I would never speak against ever because it has changed my life and saved me in many ways. So, quite interesting. I'm sure there's a lot of people that will be like, "Well, you shouldn't be doing astrology anymore. You shouldn't be doing any of that." Well, I talked to Jesus about it, and it's fine from what I hear so far. So far. I'm sure people will say, "Then you're not talking to Jesus." Maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm listening though to I'm listening, and the same energy, like, saved me out of that
Mm,
dark, dark, dark energy. So, I'm right now really diving into learning more about honestly, about demons, and how they show up. Feel like I'm not sure why I'm so pulled to it, but it's almost like I need to understand the behaviors at which those things kind of manifest through people so I can see it.
yeah.
Because I've been caught in like webs before where I've not been able to get out. It's been the hardest thing ever to get out. And I don't wanna repeat that pattern, so I'm very interested in being able to clock it before it ever happens to me again, because it was like the fight of my life to get out of the hands of that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is an incredibly powerful story. Thank
Mm.
you.
Mhm.
Thank you. I'm so curious. I'm so looking forward to seeing how this relationship evolves. It really does seem like Jesus is moving in a lot of people's lives right now.
I know.
And
I'm
I've,
getting
like,
the
looked it
chills.
up.
Ooh.
Yeah, me too. I've looked it up online, and I come from a Christian background. Honestly, I'm gonna be totally raw and honest here. Lately, I'm like, everyone else is having Jesus experiences, like, where's
Yeah.
mine? And I'm like, "Jesus, show up." Like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready. Like, let me
Yeah.
know." I'm almost
Mhm.
feeling like I'm a little bit left out of the party at the moment, because of stories like this, but I'm also in a place where, like, I feel like I'm doing okay right now. I feel like
Mhm.
and maybe it was Jesus or maybe, whatever. I don't know. There's so many places that we could go with this. Um I looked it up online. I was like, "Is there a resurgence of Christianity or, like, Jesus lovers or whatever?" And so far, nothing online is really saying that there's a huge revival going on right now, but I see it
I
in
know.
so many people that I'm talking to. It's like, there's something moving here, but it's also unique because it's not necessarily Christianity in Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like the excuse me for saying this, but I'm just gonna say it, the true teachings of Jesus without some of the additional layers that come with
Mhm.
Christianity.
Yeah. Yeah, it is something I am also seeing. Somebody wrote into me the other day after reading one of my Substacks about Andre Barbalt, and they talked about that it's not a planet, but it's an object, essentially, Sedna. Basically, what he was telling me was his through his kind of mapping of an understanding of where we're at and kind of where the planets are also at, that he believes that we're moving towards this time where like the gods and like the higher god and the lower gods are like bridging, and it's sort of like like a renaissance of humanity happening. And I think we've seen that kind of through like Dolores Cannon over the years, going people going deep into meditations with her or like hypnotherapy sessions with her. We've seen it through other people kind of also hearing this sort of war in the sky, this I wonder if that's why we're having this idea of aliens coming. It's like, I don't there in the fourth dimension, there is a lot of polarity and there's a war of dark and light. That's just in general. It's not necessarily a war, but there's a struggle for it. It's polarity. There's this idea of like the war that's happening in the sky. It's like, is that the lower it's that sort of like the lower gods and the higher God, right? It's the angelic beings and then and God. And there's levels of angelic beings. And I don't know enough about it to kind of fully go into that. But I wonder if that's what's happening, the sort of aliens. It's like I think that we are probably the aliens. I haven't fully gotten into all that, but I do suspect that there's something happening that is a is much more like spiritual than anyone has ever really. I don't think we've seen it in history. In at least our written history, maybe in Egypt times. I don't know, but this guy was talking about how he believes that through a lot of pattern recognition that he was doing on his own. And of course, that's one person, but yeah, there's something in my spidey senses that tells me that. And then you've got a lot of people feeling like, that the revelation is happening. And it's like, well, we are, entering in the age of Aquarius. So is that just sort of the end of the old and the revelation is the birth of something new? Yeah, that could be it. I don't know. Maybe in a year or two, we'll have a conversation and we'll have more clarity. But I don't know if you have any ideas of what this is, but it does feel as though something is coming in. There is a lot of connection to Jesus along the way of like, you know, make sure that you're getting right with the light is kind of the vibe I feel.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting with the, disclosure and things that are
Mhm.
happening right now. What's the purpose of that? That's
Yeah.
is there some deception there, or do they know that something's coming that they can't stop? And so they're just going to leak out some information now. So they're going to try and spin whatever happens in a direction that benefits them. I don't know. I
Yeah.
have I have felt since I was very young that in 2027 something was going to happen. And
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is. I just know that over the years, it would just pop in my head every once in a while. It was a really intense feeling in my body. We'll just put it there.
Yeah.
I don't think that the world is going to end. I just think that something massive is going to happen. I think that aliens are interdimensional beings. I don't think that they're necessarily from another physical planet. It was just announced that someone gave some testimony that there are four races of aliens that the US government and other governments have been in contact with. They
Mhm.
did Greys, Nordics, insectoid, so like the praying mantis type, and reptilian. It's just incredible that they're talking about that. I don't know. I don't know what's behind that.
So this is I think why I'm so interested. I am literally drawn like a moth to the flame when it comes to talking and learning about demons. It sounds really crazy. I know. I've always been a little bit interested in it just because, um, we went into one of my past lives, you and I was cleaning up dark energy. Now we're getting into some interesting things. Okay.
Yeah,
So
we are.
if you think about like the way that there's entities, right? Like if you think about aliens as being entities, it's like there are schools of thought that think that this is aliens would be just another word for demons, just energy that is overtaking somebody's body, right? You overtake it, you latch onto their psyche, and they're so strong and they were so open that now their psyche is being run by something else, right? Their psyche is not being run by their soul is taking a backdrop, and now this thing is running it. And so you could say, I wonder if we, like humans, are going to be, maybe there might be more of that overtaking of the body. There's a lot of not great people that are running this world. And so you could equate and say those are probably not beings of light. Um, and they're interestingly going under the world. They're going under, they're wanting to like save themselves from something, right? Symbolically, I start to just go, is there going to be sort of an unleashing of dark energy? Okay, so remember we were talking, I was literally seeing this in my past life regression with you,
Yeah.
where like there was at one point, like there was an unleashing of dark beings that were taking over people, and they were like aliens in a way, and they were like ruining the crops. People were bugging out, and they were weird, and people all knew this was happening, and they were, just messing with things. They were messing with the weather. They were messing with everything, and that we had to bind them to the rocks. That's what we had to do to get them to like tether so that they couldn't move. And then you start hearing people talking about the billionaires going into the bunkers, and you're like, they don't really have the best of intentions, these people. And you start to go, are you self-binding yourself to rocks or something? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of like piecing things together. But anyway, I wonder if some of this has to do with just beings overtaking people. And
Yeah, and I
all of
think
a sudden, people aren't acting the same.
right. And literally everything that you were just saying, I was seeing it as it's happening right now. That's been happening.
I
They're
know.
already manipulating the weather. They're already manipulating and killing off crops. They're already doing all of these things. The
Yeah.
propaganda, the manipulation that we get through social media, through the news, people are already being taken over by, and maybe our perception of what a demon is different than in reality what it is. Yes, maybe they are some stereotypical demon type things, but demons can also be thought forms,
Yeah.
things that take over your perception, that change how you see things and how you perceive the world around you, that puts you into a doom mode as well. And so people already have been taken over by these ideals. And so
Hmm.
this subconscious work, really going back in, reclaiming your mind, perhaps calling on Jesus to reclaim authorship over your life, your mind, your emotions, all of these things. Maybe that's part of it. And the other place where my mind goes with this is thinking about the orbs that have been seen time and time again over nuclear missile silos, and they'll put them offline. So, maybe we have this dual. We have these energies that are
Mhm.
manipulating humanity and the world right now. And then we have these other energies, and these seem to be plasmoids, not physical things necessarily, that are going in and shutting down nuclear facilities. Like, we're not going to
Mhm.
allow you to set off another nuclear bomb. So maybe there are these two forces that are already at
Yeah.
play right now. Maybe it's going to come to a head.
I don't know. I don't, but yeah. Of course, when there's dark, there's also light. So it's like, it is interesting to me that like,
Super.
what is going on? And, is it all of it? I don't know, but I do know that things are very, like, if you look back at the last 10 years, things are very different and they're weird. It's gotten really weird.
Yeah,
And the vibes are off. I'll say that. The vibes in the world are really off. And I think many of us feel that. And it's like, how do we kind of make sense of all of it? I don't know yet. Other than worrying about my own mind, you worry about your own mind, and we do the best we can to keep ourselves strong and clean and clear, and we've got our values figured out, and we figure out like our own inner strength. It feels like
absolutely.
that's the most important thing beyond purpose and passion and all of those things. It's like when you are fully in an optimistic place, when you're full of gratitude and you feel strong that you can kind of take on anything, it's a bit like your purpose and is going to just flow through you and to you anyway. So just get your mind right now. and get your strength up. And I think that's what we need in this next few years. Like from now until 2031, it's really about inner strength of like, can you sustain where we're going? That's what I see. Is like,
Yeah.
can you sustain it? If you can't, things are going to get a little rough. And the name of the game will to do anything you can to sustain the energy and the potential mental chaos that's going about. So I do wonder if like all of this work has really gotten me to this place of being able to be unwavering in my own perception.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think it's really easy to hear the things that we're talking about right now and maybe feel fear or
Mm,
nervousness, maybe hopelessness, helplessness. And that's no, that if you feel those things, it's okay,
yeah.
feel it, but then anchor into God, anchor into Jesus, anchor into love, anchor into light, anchor into your core, the core of what you are, and
Yeah.
really clear away any distortion that you have inside of yourself so that you are living in full integrity. It's so easy to look at the outside world and see things that others are doing wrong or the corruption in the government or whatever. But what can you control? You
Mm,
can control yourself, your mind, how you're treating others, how you're speaking to yourself. And so that's really what I feel like is the call right now. What I'm feeling and how I'm really feeling called to work with people is get into radical integrity. Take
mm,
radical responsibility for your entire state of being and cultivate that strength, like you're saying. And when you clear out that distortion, your intuition, it's there. There's nothing
yeah.
blocking it, there's nothing distorting it. But you really got to go in and do the work and build that sustaining energy and courage to no matter what comes, it's happening and you're going to be okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's an interesting time that we're moving through. So, I think everyone's called to their journey when they're called. And if you're being called to really open up right now, then that's the right place that you're in the right place at the right time. And if you're kind of on the other side of the like downloads and they're changing for you, it's probably about you strengthening your mind more than anything else. So that's where we're at, I think. And it's cool. And it's also mysterious still.
Very, very
Mhm.
mysterious. There's a lot up in the air. Who
A
knows
lot.
what is about to happen?
This is the fun part of life, Carlin. This is the fun part.
Exactly. And so we're going to soak up all the fun bits. We're going to find more of it. We're going to go towards more of it.
Yes.
Um, this was so good. I love all the places that we went. We're definitely going to need to have you back on so we can go more into the latter half of what we talked about because
Yeah.
this is juicy stuff. This is real. This is really what is impacting the world right now. And I think the conversation matters. So if people want to connect with you, how can they
Yeah.
find you, work with you, any of your things?
Yeah, right now, I you can find me on Instagram at Tara.Schulenberg, SCH. Oh my god, we can just leave it in the
Yeah,
comments or something.
I'll put it on the screen and down
Yeah,
below.
it's a long last name, but Tara.Schulenberg. I am on Substack also at Tara Schulenberg. And you can also go to my website, taraschulenberg.com. And I'm currently building a beta report system. So it's not fully operational yet, but it will be soon. But I'm excited about that. It's going to be really, really fun tool for people to engage with. What I really talk about is like pathway forward. And that's what this new business I'm creating is really called is pathway forward. It's all focused in astrology. And I'm excited to be building it right now and sharing with you guys along the way. So Substack is where I'm most active at the moment. And I do a lot of fun drops every week of just kind of astrology patterns, things that are happening. And we're getting deeper over there too, which is fun.
Yeah, I'm
So,
absolutely loving what you're doing with Substack, and I can't wait for you to fully release this tool that you're creating because it is rad.
yeah, I'm excited about it too, and I'm also taking my time with it. I had a really big business happening, and I shut it down. From my end, it still exists, and now I'm rebuilding, and I've got to do it on the pace at which It is being told, and it's like very slowly we are building.
I'll put links to everything down below in the description and the show notes. If you enjoyed the conversation, please share it with a friend. Let us know your thoughts. I am at least, and I'm sure Tara will be too, here for discussion in the comments
Yeah.
because this is some good stuff. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Tara.
Thank you.